This video is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing being said can be taken as factual. It's for entertainment purposes only. Please enjoy. Hey everybody, this is Sonia with Melanin Goddess Life. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another celebrity reading. Yes, we're about to do another celebrity reading. I pulled this celebrity out of my hat here. Today's reading is going to be on a very interesting person in Hollywood. This person's career started at, I believe, the tender age of 15. Now, that's when I think the age that he was discovered, quote unquote. He started off with commercials, a very popular commercial several years ago that he was tapped to do. And I think it was like one of his first really big media type projects that he did, but he was tapped at 15 years old. He subsequently went on to do music, and actually I like his music. He's a very talented artist with regards to singing. I love his music. However, his popularity for me actually grew with the movies he has been in. He's been in several movies, and he's been a part of a really popular franchise of movies over the years that have done really well over the years. Now, his personal life, that's something that's a little bit different, maybe not as successful as his entertainment life. However, nevertheless, he is someone that is a part of our culture, black culture, pop culture, R&B music, and one of those people that goes by one name and you know him by his first name. The person that we're going to be doing the reading on today is none other than the singer, actor Tyrese. Yes. All right, so we're going to be doing the celebrity reading on today on Tyrese. When I was trying to come up with who the next reading was going to be about, he popped into my head, so I always go with spirit, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get into the astrological makeup and information and events and transits that are coming up for Mr. Tyrese Gibson. So Tyrese Gibson was born December 30th, 1978, and he is one of those celebrities that I do have a birth time for at 2:25 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. He's currently 43 years old. This makes him a Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Scorpio Rising. Okay, so he is a double Capricorn Sun and Moon. So he definitely, to me, embodies the physical attributes of most Capricorn. His beautifully structured face, his prominent facial features. I mean, the man is attractive. You have to give it to him. He's definitely attractive. He does embody that tall, dark, and handsome archetype. Also with his Capricorn Moon, just given his energy and his presence on screen, his presence on social media, and how he does things and how he operates, he definitely gives me Capricorn Moon. Capricorns are very strategic, very disciplined, very steadfast, practical, very practical, very patient, and they just do their life in a certain order and have certain plans and expectations for their lives. Especially with the Capricorn Moon, his expectations are very high in the realm of his romantic connections. He wants things to look a certain way. And looking at his natal chart, he's definitely big on the aesthetics of his life. Doesn't like his life to look messy or be messy. So he's very particular about who he places in his life, the moves that he makes, particularly in his personal life, because he definitely finds the importance of status, his reputation, his legacy, his name, things of that nature. Now, he has a Scorpio rising. That's real intense. Very intense. These are people that keep a lot of things hidden. These are the natural investigators of the zodiac, but their emotions, their thoughts, just everything about them is very deep and insightful and things of that nature. So that's what his big three are. So I did his relationship activity. You know, I do this with everyone, and I have this formula in which I calculate in which age, I believe something should transition in a person's love life. And it's based on 4 scenarios, and they're real simple. I did Tyrese's calculations. I do have the age in which I actually came up with 2 ages in which I feel like something should transition for him by way of love. And it could look like, just depending on where he is in his love life. The first scenario could be if he's totally single, not romantically connected to anyone. This would look like someone coming into his life of significance for a potential long-term committed relationship. Scenario number 2 would be if he's in a relationship and the relationship is going well. This would look like energy around putting permanence on the relationship. So that can look like maybe moving in together, getting engaged, getting married, or making a exclusive monogamous commitment to the relationship. Third scenario could be if he's in a relationship and it's not going well. This could definitely bring some friction in the relationship with the potential for a breakup. And the fourth scenario, which I feel like encompasses most of the scenarios at any given time, is this is Tyrese taking the time to figure out what he wants in a relationship, what he wants in a partner, and working on how he shows up in a relationship. The age in which I came up with, I feel like something should shift, change, or transition for him is actually the age of 43. So Tyrese has definitely been in the energy of relationship activity. And if I'm not mistaken, he has experienced a breakup with his last relationship. So that definitely hits one of the scenarios. But the thing about this is he could have all these things happening at any given time at the age of 43. So he could very well turn around and be in another relationship soon. Or he could actually feel like he just wants to take the time to learn how to do relationships in a healthy way and really try to do relationships differently moving forward. Now, the other age that I came up with for him, and because everything is free will, and at the end of the day we have free will on what we do, is actually the age of 46. However, Tyrese actually has some additional astrological activity going on with him that we're going to talk about a little bit later that is really affecting his relationship life. So 43 to 46 is going to be the window where there's going to be a lot of transition and change with regards to his relationships. But let's just backtrack, start with first things first, and we'll get around to his personal life, because I do have a bit of a surprise for him if he's looking at this video, or some information that he may want to know about the energy that's around him and really could be playing a big part in his life. So first things first, the theme of his year. So this would be from his last birthday, December 2021, until December 2022, which he still has a few months. The theme of his year should have been around 8th house matters. So this actually is the 8th house. It encompasses things, it's called the shared resources house. So this is other people's money. This is resources and finances that we share with another person or another entity. This is also the space that governs taxes, inheritances, joint ventures, joint business agreements, child support, our debt that we have with another person. But this is also the area that governs sex and intimacy and the taboo things that we keep hidden. The theme for him up until his next birthday, until December 2022, is all about those things. So this should have looked like a lot of his energy going towards monies or resources that he is dealing with another person. Again, this could have been child support a situation. I do know that he was going through a divorce. I don't know what the status is of that, but this definitely falls in that 8th house of separating assets. How we're doing debt, resources, money owed to other people around a divorce or a settlement of some sort. So I don't know if he was dealing with child support issues or if he's still dealing with the arrangement of child support. This definitely would have been energy around of him paying attention to his taxes, paying attention to his debt. And I really doubt that this is him, but if he is one of those people that takes much of a hands-off approach with regards to how his finances are kept, his taxes are paid, how the money going in and out his assets. This would have been a time for him to be paying more close attention on his shared resources and how his money is being handled. If he's not been paying a proactive role in his finances, this would have been definitely a time where he needs to get more proactive in that. This is also the area that governs sex and intimacy. This would have been energy around him making an intimate connection with someone else. Now, sex and intimacy are two different things. A lot of people try to lump them together, but they're not the same thing. Sex is the physical act, and intimacy is the connection with another person on a more intimate level. So this definitely could have looked like energy around his sex life and connection that he's making with another person or another partner. This will definitely look like him in search of an intimate connection, not just sex, but that comes into play, but wanting to make an intimate connection with someone during this time. So that would have been, something that would have been in the forefront, and it would have been more about him really trying to find his soulmate, really trying to find the person that he connects with on an intimate, deep level like he's never connected with anyone before. He's still going to be looking for that, and that's going to tie in with what is happening in his 7th house of relationships. So this would have been energy all about those things. Now, when he gets to his next birthday in December, then his theme is going to shift. So the birthday December 2022 to December 2023 is going to look a lot different with regards to the theme. That theme is going to be all about international travel, higher education. It's going to look have a lot to do with foreigners, foreign business, higher media projects. Media projects are in this 9th house, his religion and spirituality. So just a quick overview, his 2023 theme of his year, I would not be surprised if he starts to get the opportunity to do some movies, higher education. He may be thinking about going back to school. He may be thinking about educating himself on something. A lot of international travel will be a part of his life for that year. But this is also a time that he will be definitely tapping into his spirituality. When we go through the theme of our 9th year, we sometimes start to question our faith, and we start to look at, does what we believe in on a spiritual or religious level still align with who we are and where we are in life. So I would not be surprised if he started to question his faith, question his religious beliefs, his religious practices, and maybe trying to seek out and educate himself on faith or religion or spirituality that more aligns with who he is. So this will be the rebuilding or the restructuring of his spiritual and religious life, much like a spiritual awakening for him will come up. And there could be a little bit of legal situations going on with this, because the 9th house does govern legal and law situations. So he may have a legal situation that comes up during that time. So that is the theme of his 2022 up until his next birthday, and then the 2023. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about for Tyrese is definitely something that's very interesting to me, and that is the energy that he has in the 5th house. Now, the 5th house is the house of joy. It is the house of our children, the house of procreation, our creative projects in areas that we take a risk. But most importantly, this is the house of finding our joy. He has a couple of planets in here that play a crucial role when they go through a house. The first one is Jupiter. This is the planet of expansion, abundance, growth, and opportunity, optimism. This is the largest benefic planet in astrology. Venus will be the smallest. So when Jupiter comes through a house or comes in connection with another planet, it's there to bring a big blessing. It's there to look around and say, where can I bless this area of your life? Where can I expand this area of your life? Where can I grow this area of your life? And the 5th house is one of my favorite houses, because this is the house where we reclaim our joy. This is also Jupiter, and Jupiter is actually a very spiritual planet. It is a very healing planet, and it's a planet of wisdom. So what this is all about, and it's going to be in this area of his chart until at least March 2023. Now, it stays there for a year and a half, so it's been there. But this is also, I almost forgot, this is also the dating house. Not the relationship house, the dating house. So what this looks like for me, what's been going on with Tyrese in the last year and some change, is dating opportunities, which clearly he did start dating, but dating opportunities for himself, bringing the romance to those dating prospects and the people that he was dating. This was all about him finding his joy, whatever that looked like for him. It was very important that he found his joy. And this could be him reclaiming joy around things that he used to do when he was young, hobbies, projects, particularly creative projects that he may have put down before that he wanted to go back to. I would not be surprised if he was really thinking about going back to his music. I think for me, I think Tyrese finds a lot of solace and a lot of therapy through his music. So this would have looked like him really digging into projects that bring him joy. So I would not be surprised if he was working on a lot of music behind the scenes and delving back into that creative component of his life. But this was all about him reclaiming the childlike joy for himself that he may have lost along the way. This would also been the time that our children in our life, or the children around us, would have brought a really special happiness to his life. He could have been experiencing some monumental times that his children were going through, milestones that they were hitting that he was a part of. Maybe one of his children really had maybe some type of achievement that happened here in this last year or so that he was proud of, or he was able to experience with them, or they had a milestone of some sort. But his relationship with his children getting a lot healthier, being a lot happier, more abundance around that. Now, because this is the procreation house, I have to advise or let Tyrese know that when Jupiter goes to the 5th house, there is a high probability that a pregnancy could come about. Now, keep in mind, he has this energy until March 2023. So if Tyrese is not wanting to have more children, I would definitely tell him to be careful, to protect himself. But Jupiter is about expansion and growth and multiplying. So he does have very, very heavy energy for the possibility of bringing a new child into his life. I'm just saying, a pregnancy could occur. And because he also has Neptune in this house, also, Neptune stays in a house for about 14 years. So he definitely has a long time before this energy leaves. Neptune is the planet of our fantasy, drama, acting. It's the planet of our spirituality. It's the planet of our intuition, but it's also the planet of confusion and sometimes delusion and sometimes idealizing situations for what we want them to be and not what they really are. So what could possibly be happening with this Neptune in this 5th house? This is excellent for his creativity. This is excellent for him writing. This is excellent for him getting into acting opportunities. This is excellent for him for his music. Anything that's art related, Neptune will definitely assist him in his creative energies being reignited. I'm wondering if he has just been on an energy of writing a lot of music, and this could actually be writing screenplays of some sort, but a lot of writing, a lot of fantasy, a lot of imagination, putting pen to paper with that. Now, what this does also is, with regards to dating opportunities, this could have been the energy around him dating and not really seeing the relationship clearly. And that could have looked like him dating someone that he projected certain expectations or thought this person was one way, and turned out when the veil was lifted on the relationship, he found out that this person was not who he thought they were. And this could have been through the person deceiving him or Tyrese deceiving himself. Okay, so we have to take accountability sometimes. Sometimes it's us. This could have been confusion around whether or not the relationship was, the parties in the relationship had the same level of commitment to it. Maybe one person was a little bit more into it than the other, and then the confusion of that finally came out, and they just found out that they may not be going in the same direction with regards to their life path, with regards to relationships. This could also have him, and he needs to just be mindful of this, because this is energy that's going to continue on with his dating life, that drawing in partners that the potential for drawing in partners that may suffer from mental health issues, may suffer from substance abuse issues, or drawing in partners to him that just need to be saved, or there's just a lot of confusion around the relationship, the dating component, and what is going on in the relationship. He has to really be careful about that. And maybe the potential for a pregnancy to come up, and there is some doubt around possibly the paternity of the child coming up. That's just some of the things that could come up, because again, Neptune is the planet of delusion. But if he is not wanting to add more children to his life, I would strongly suggest that he protect himself. He needs to protect himself. The next thing we're going to talk about is his fourth house, which is the house of family, which is the house of our physical space. This is the buying and selling of property. This is our home life. This is our emotional foundation. This is the area that governs our mother. The fourth house is represented by the mother. The 10th house is with the father, and feminine energy, and the feminine energy in women and prominent women around us in our life. He has Saturn in this fourth house. Saturn typically stays in the house for about 2.5 years. Saturn is going to be in this area of his life until the end of 2023. Saturn is a planet of responsibility, maturity, putting down a foundation. It's also the planet of delays. It is the planet of structure, restriction, the law, and responsibility. All those things that actually Capricorn is governed by Saturn. So everything that embodies the Capricorn and how they move is Saturn. So he's comfortable with this energy. But when it goes to the fourth house, Saturn is all about the quality of something. It's all about the value in something. It's all about what is the value of this area of my life? Am I getting everything that I need to get out of this area of my life? What is the quality of this area of my life? Is there a foundation set? So when you have Saturn going through the fourth house, some of the things that Tyrese could experience, has been experiencing in the last year until the end of 2023, the number one thing is there's usually a loss of a prominent female figure in our life, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, he did lose his mother recently. My condolences go out to him, but that's sometimes a result of Saturn being there. Also, this will probably put an energy of him wanting to possibly buying and selling more property. I don't know if he wants to relocate. So this could actually have him wanting to sell his current home or buy a second home, or maybe do some major renovations in his current home to make it, put a fresh new perspective on it. Especially when he starts to get around that spiritual type of awakening that I think is coming up for him. His surroundings are going to be very important, that he transitions and changes them as he's growing in his spirituality. So he may decide that he wants to move to a different residence, or he may decide that he wants to just stay where he is and do a fresh new overhaul of his current space. But serious changes with regards to his home life are going to start to happen. Also, this is dynamics around the prominent women that are close to us. Again, we mentioned the passing of his mother, but this could definitely look like how he does relationships with women, because this is the fourth house and all about women. This is also going to be an energy around his emotional stability. This could be an excellent time for him to go into therapy of some sort, whatever therapy looks like for him, to heal any wounds that he's still holding on, particularly with his childhood, with his relationship with his mother, with his relationship and how he does with women. Will be an excellent time for him to do this. Now, this is a relationship house. And when you have Saturn in a relationship house, this is all about putting down a foundation. This is another indicator that he could very well be finding a really solid long-term relationship for himself. Now, he may not think that that could happen for him anytime soon, but this is the foundation of him really, really setting down roots and getting prepared to have someone to come into his life for a long, extended period of time, and this actually being a relationship that he's going to have for a substantial amount of time, if not for the rest of his life. Okay? And again, that energy is going to stay with him until 2023. The next energy we're going to talk about is the energy around his 7th house of one-on-one relationships. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting, because we just talked about the 4th house and the potential for a long-term committed relationship to come in to his life, he has got to learn how to do relationships. He's got to get clear on how to do relationships. He needs to garner the wisdom that he has collected over the years and really lean into that and how to do healthy, mature relationships. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is in his 7th house, which is the house of one-on-one relationships, particularly marriage, family, business, just those one-on-one relationships we go into consciously with another person, and legal proceedings are here. Now, remember the 5th house is the dating house, but the 7th house is like the relationship house. He has Uranus in this house. Uranus transits the house for about 7 years, and it's been in this area of his life for about the last 3 years. Uranus is the planet of unpredictability, unexpected changes, anything that could happen, that will happen, and we really don't know the energy of Uranus. All we know is to expect the unexpected. It's not the most ideal place to be in the 7th house, because what it does with our relationships, it makes our relationships very unpredictable. And I want him to keep in mind, this is not just romantic, this is business, this is family, this is close friends, those one-on-one relationships we tie ourselves to. But we're talking about his relationship life. And this is going to answer the question why his relationships have been so erratic and up and down. They start really quickly, but they end just as quickly. And there's really no stability around the relationship, or the relationship takes on a very, very odd type component to it. This could look like distance in the relationship, which meaning one person living somewhere and the other person living hundreds and hundreds of miles away. There can also be a difference in the personalities. Like you see two people together and you never thought that they would be together because they're so odd and they're so different. But the relationship just having an odd way of starting. This also is really, really heavy for relationships that start online or through dating apps or through sliding in somebody's DM, something like that. But I say that to say this. The unpredictability in the relationships is going to continue on. That is not going to stop. What Tyrese has to learn is how to do healthy relationships, how to navigate when the relationships are going through a period of unpredictability and craziness. He's such a Capricorn. It's hard for people with heavy Capricorn energy to know how to be flexible and pivot, because they only see things one way. They have a plan for everything, and they feel like the plan is supposed to work out because the plan is, it's a plan. He has got to learn to be flexible. He's got to learn to pivot and be able to move with regards to his relationships. And then he's a Scorpio rising, and they hate change. Oh, God. It is in his pathology that he does not do change well. It's in his pathology that once he sets something to a plan, he wants to stick to it, and he does not understand anything about deviating from it and why the plan is not working. This is not going to bode him well with the energy that he has going on in his seventh house of one-on-one relationships. If he does not learn how to be flexible, how to pivot, how to go with the flow and enjoy what is happening, he's going to continue to have these erratic, short-lived relationships with a lot of drama and a lot of ups and downs. He has got to learn how to do relationships. And one thing that is supporting him in learning how to do relationships is his north and south node. Now, we have been having eclipses in our Scorpio and Taurus. He is a Scorpio rising, so Tyrese has been going through it. He's been going through it in all areas of his life in order to change him, but particularly in the area of one-on-one relationships and his identity. He has the North Node, which is the North Node is about our destiny. This is where we're going to. This is where we need to achieve. This is where the opportunity is. We want to go to it. It's in his seventh house of relationships, which is a good thing. But across the street in the opposite is the first house. This is all about the self, about the individual, about the physical body, how we show up and who we are as an individual. He has the North Node here, okay? The North Node is about releasing things that no longer serve us. The lesson for Tyrese is he has to learn how to do one-on-one relationships, but he has to learn that you can still hold on to your individuality, but you cannot take that into a relationship. You cannot just have the relationship about you and what you want. This is about learning how to balance and be in a relationship. This is learning how to be part of a relationship, but still retain your individuality and who you are, but in a healthy way. It cannot always be about what you want, what your plans are, how you want to see the relationship. This eclipses that he's going through, these North Node activations he's going through, is trying to teach him how to be balanced in a relationship, how to put the other person first. Now, I'm sure he believes that he does do that. He really believes that. But I beg to differ. His relationships reflect that he does not do that. They reflect that he does not do that. And it just is what it is. And he needs to learn how to do healthy relationships. He needs to learn that he is not an individual in the relationship. He is part of a partnership. And the minute he gets that lesson, he will draw in healthier relationships for himself all the way around. Okay? He also has a Pluto Square and a Neptune Square going on. That Pluto Square is putting pressure on his 12th house and his 3rd house of communication. The 12th house is about our healing, closure, our traumas, things of that nature. I hope he is taking on therapy, because this will be an ideal time for him to do that, to make a breakthrough with regards to those areas of his life. And it's squaring off in his 3rd house of communication. Tyrese has a message. Tyrese has a story about what is going on in his life. He needs to heal in order to share his experiences. I think ultimately, if he does the work on himself, he would definitely be someone that could help others in their healing process and in their journey. But he really needs to get clear about what's going on. He needs to take accountability for the things that have happened in his life, particularly in his personal life. He needs to, with this 12th house energy, release all those traumas, those addictions, those habits, things that are holding him back, holding him down, still have a hold on him. He needs to start to release those. A Pluto Square also brings unpredictability in our relationships, a quick end to a relationship, but it also affects our work life, our career life. So he could be going through some substantial changes with regards to that. I'm really thinking he's about to go back to music for some reason. I think he is, and just going to put a lot of his energy into music. But Pluto energy is all about the dying off of how we do things, the dying off of things that no longer serve us, so we can rise again in a different way. So we can rise from the ashes. You know, that's the phoenix thing with that Scorpio. Tyrese has really, really good regenerative capabilities about itself. These are the people that can lose it all, and then at the same time they have the wherewithal, they have the energy, they have the drive to build themselves back up. This is a complete dying off of who Tyrese is, so he can be reborn in the new, improved, the new higher self Tyrese. Okay, he has a Neptune square in his fifth house and second house. That we're going back to the fifth house, the house of joy, children, procreation, things of that nature. That Neptunian energy squaring off in his house of his earned income. This is about his money. So this definitely puts, again, an energy around children, the potential for a baby. And when it's squaring off in the second house of our money, we're talking about this may cost us. This may cost us financially what is happening here in this area. Now, it could be him funding a creative project for himself. That could be it. But it also could tie in the possibility of more children in his life, which subsequently weighs on his earnings and the money that he has to put out. Okay? So, all in all, oh, he's got Chiron going through the sixth house. That's another thing. He needs to start healing his physical body and mental health. That's going to be a big deal for him. Okay, to sum it up, Mr. Tyrese, heavy energy around relationships. He is not off the roller coaster of one-on-one relationships. He's actually really just starting to do the work. He does have supportive energy from Jupiter to help him heal, help him garner wisdom, help him to put him in the right direction of how he does one-on-one relationships. Again, he has those eclipses that have been hitting him for the last several months, and they will continue on. We got about 2 more sets of them, and this is really trying to get him to learn how to do one-on-one relationships, but also learn how to be an individual in the relationship, but not lose yourself, but not just only considering your needs in the relationship, learning how to consider the other needs of other, being flexible. He has got to learn how to be flexible in relationships. He has got to do that. That is the only way he's going to find success. If not, he's going to continue with these short-lived relationships that burn out immediately. I'm just going to tell you, Tyrese got the potential to get into another quickie marriage if he's not careful. And just as quickly as he gets married, it's over. So he has to really, really be careful with that. I want him to lean into his creativity, whatever this creative project he's trying to do for himself. I really hope that he's getting back into music, because I think that that's going to be the area that's going to bring him the greatest joy, and it's going to be therapy for him. And he could see some really major success with his music if he got back into it. Finally, if he's not ready to be a parent again, he should be protecting himself, because it is highly likely that he could come up with a baby here in the next few months. Okay? So that's all I have for Mr. Tyrese Gibson. I hope you have enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading for yourself, please visit my website at www.melaningoddesslife.biz. Also, I have my manifestation candles on there, which my manifestation candles are awesome. If you are trying to manifest with the art of candle magic, my candles are the ones that you should be getting. Also, I'm adding a new service. I have a service of how to manifest love. It is a combination of the love reading, and we sit down, do the love reading, see what kind of energy you're in with regards to love. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to put together a candle for you during the visit that is going to help you start the manifestation process of bringing love into your life. I want you to take advantage of that, because that service works. It's an awesome service. So again, thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel. I need your support. I want to try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm about at 660. So in order for me to do that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all the social media platforms, melaningoddesslife.biz. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.